A slight risk for strong storms tonight across the tri-state. Good evening, I'm Brandon Bartlett.
And I'm Nicole. Time is running out. The current budget expires at midnight, June 30th, and there are two plans on the table and two sides that don't seem to want to give in. It's been a long year for members of the 163rd, and for some, they're still having a hard time. A lot of painful memories are coming back for those who remember the brutal murders. Now there will be a new trial bringing back witnesses to re-testify to a crime that happened 13 years ago. It was called a rural ambush.
The only way they can really describe the size of this meth bus is just massive. As you can see right now, actually a hearse is pulling up here, so we feel it's probably not going to be much longer before they remove the body from the home. In just about 2.5 hours, we've already seen a couple inches of snow. Take a look at how thick this ice is. It's like a marble sized here. That was a horrific reality for the driver of this Dodge. There's a layer of ice that has fallen, and then as soon as you get through that, this is where the snow is.
Nicole DiDonato has been live on the scene throughout this morning. Nicole, what's the latest?
Well, good morning, Beth. It looks like police are about to wrap up their investigation. They just took down the police tape from about a block of Covert Avenue from Shadewood all the way to Evans. They were concentrating down here because this is where the shooting took place. They say they found about at least a couple dozen shell casings. Neighbors here say they just heard very loud noises, which was apparently the shooting. Now, according to police, the suspect's vehicle and the victim's vehicle were going in opposite directions down Covert Avenue. Police say the suspects opened fire on the victim's car, and we have video from earlier this morning. The victims were driving a white Grand Prix. They drove about a half-mile down Covert Avenue and ended up in front of the Rain Tree Garden Apartments, where they flagged down a police officer. Two people we know were hit. They were taken to St. Mary's Hospital. Their injuries, the extent of their injuries, are still unknown at this time, and police say the suspects got away and they were not able to get a good description of what type of vehicle they were driving. But again, neighbors here, all they can really say, they didn't see anything, but they heard a loud noise, several loud noises from all the gunshots. Again, two people were injured, taken to St. Mary's Hospital, and this investigation is going to continue. Live in Evansville this morning, Nicole DiDonato, 14 News.
They're like your babies, you know, I mean, they become part of your daily life.
Kenneth Miller and his wife Arletta are grief-stricken. Their son, a horse trainer, kept two horses at what used to be a stable at Riverside Downs. Those horses were among 24 killed in the massive blaze. The orange glow and smoke could be seen from across the Ohio River as firefighters from both sides of the river battled the intense flames. To the Millers and other handlers and owners, these horses were more than just animals. They were part of the family.
You take care of them, then you fall in love with them. I mean, they start eating candy out of your hand.
This has kept ladies in one Sunday.
Arletta proudly shows off a cell phone picture of their prize-winning horse.
We had one that just ran Sunday at Churchill. She won. It was a race horses for cancer. And she went, and we go from a high to a low. That little 3-year-old in there, she's going to be something good.
The stable did not have any space heaters. That's why it's so hard to imagine just what could have sparked the fire.
Guess we'll have to start all over again.
These handlers and owners devote so much of their time to training and taking care of their horses. It's an investment and their livelihood. As for the Millers, horses are their life and say they will get through this.
They're all in heaven now, and they'll be taken care of.
Nicole DiDonato, 14 News, Henderson.
It's something that I was not expecting to wake up to.
Jacob Embry says he's used to things hiding in his family's Lewis Avenue garage. Last week it was a litter of kittens, but he never would have thought a suspected drug dealer. According to Evansville police, it all began when Joint Task Force received a tip that suspected drug dealers Marquis Johnson and Clayton Doctor were driving north on 41 into Evansville. As police tried to stop their silver car, officers say the pair sped up 41 to Lincoln Avenue.
According to police, the suspects lost control of their vehicle and slammed right into this fence. If it hadn't been for the fence, it would have gone right into the donut bank.
Two jumped out and fled north. One went this way and the other one went down Lewis Avenue.
Police eventually caught Johnson, while several officers and sheriff's deputies searched Lewis Avenue for Doctor. A canine unit tracked Doctor sent to the Embry's garage.
The next thing I know, I heard a lot of screaming and hollering and saw lots of policemen going up my driveway.
My mom was yelling, "There's someone in our garage."
Doctor was carried out on a stretcher. Police say he was bitten by a canine. Johnson was injured in the crash and was also taken to the hospital. As the neighborhood returned to normal, members of the drug task force continue to retrieve evidence believed to be cocaine, they say thrown by the suspects as they ran from police. As for the Embrys, it's a morning they won't soon forget.
Yes, I wasn't worried. I mean, how can you be with 50 policemen and all these dogs?
Nicole DiDonato, 14 News, Evansville.